What up, Three Players? It's your homie C-Rod, and today I'm gonna bring you the top 5 most strongest cards in Dragon Ball Super card game. This is a list that actually is very hard to make, harder than you would think, and honestly I broke it down based on how powerful the card is, how often the card, if played, gets you a W. That's predominantly where most of the rating comes from, and obviously how consistent is it. So I broke it down and I ended up coming down to these 5 cards that when you slap it down onto your opponent, you sometimes will win just like that. And these cards are easily brought out. That's what was key, that it was pretty simple to bring these guys out. So first things first, with my number 5 pick, it's going to go to Baby Hatchiyack Saiyan Destroyer. This is the new secret rare from set 11, and this card right here, it's a 40k body. It's a secret rare, so it has that ultimate keyword skill, and the counter attack says if you have 3 or more energies, you can negate the attack, then play this card. Voila, you got a big old behemoth onto your opponent. But that's not it yet. The permanent is what makes this guy really good, and is the reason why it gets the number 5 spot. If your leader is mono blue, you can choose 1 card in your hand and discard it instead of paying its cost. Then you can activate this counter from your hand. So in essence, all you have to do is choose 1 other card in your hand, discard it, and then you're able to bring this guy out, and your opponent can't attack for the turn anymore. Not only do you stop that attack, your opponent can't do any more attacks, meaning if they thought they were going to go for game and you slap this negate 40k body in the right time, you could literally win the game. And that's why I ranked this guy the number 5 spot. So what's going to get the number 4 spot? Well, the number 4 spot goes to another counter attack, which is Dormant Potential Unleashed. This Dormant Potential Unleashed isn't as versatile as the other secret rare, but nonetheless I think it's better because of the fact that you could get it back to your hand, you could run 4 of in a deck, and what you do with this card is pretty much you stop your opponent from attacking, you discard a green card, and then your opponent cannot make any more additional attacks except for 1 more attack for the duration of the game, stopping your opponent in their tracks. And this card also KOs battle cards that add up to a total cost of 2, meaning you're going to be able to kill a bunch of little 1-drops or even tokens potentially. This card, placed at a very well timed manner, will get you a W. I've seen it so many times, I've done it so many times, and that's why Dormant Potential Unleashed is one of the most expensive cards that come from a booster box. Really good. Do not underestimate Dormant Potential Unleashed. Now, moving on to my number 3 card. And guess what? It's not a negate, it's actually another extra card, but it happens to be Senzu Bean. A lot of people are like, Senzu Bean's number 1, number 2, well, I gave him number 3. And let me know in the comment section below where you guys would rank these cards, and if any of the cards that you think are the strongest at the moment are on this list. Obviously, I could have just ranked Mastered Ultra Instinct Victory Strike as the strongest, but those cards are honestly not as easy to bring out, at least at this point in time anymore, or else this list would have been different a long time ago. But Senzu Bean, nonetheless, is my number 3 because it's literally one of the best blue cards in the entire game. Any deck that runs blue has to run Senzu Bean for sure. This card allows you to restand up to 2 of your energies and then give 5k power to 1 of your cards on the field for the turn. It's very simple, but yet very strong in practice, because defensively, you use this card, not only do you get an extra energy to defend and combo out of attacks, you get a 5k boost for the entire turn, meaning all your opponent's battle cards that are at 15k, if you use it on your leader, they are pretty much unable to attack your leader without them sacrificing some cards from their hand to combo. So Senzu Bean offensively could just literally get you a game. You Senzu Bean the right energy and you could win by adding a double strike Champa or bringing out another battle card or whatever the case is. Senzu Bean allows you to extend your plays, letting you go for game and ultimately win. So Senzu Bean is number 3. Number 2 is gonna go to Xeno Cell Unspeakable Abomination. I gave this guy number 2. It deserves number 2. It's honestly the best secret rare there is, in my opinion, because it comes out for free, no energy. You just gotta use Successor, which is where you tally up a total number of cost of battle cards that are on the field. You place them in the drop area, and then you can bring them out onto the field. This guy's quadruple strike, dual attack, and he forces your opponent to discard 3 cards from their hand if you activate this guy's Successor and bring him out onto the field when you have 5 or more energies. This card is just nuts. You can kill your opponent if they have 8 lives with this dual attack quadruple strike. Gosh darn it, this card's dumb. All you do is just have a swarm of battle cards that are green or yellow on the field, sacrifice them, and quadruple strike them in the face. This guy definitely is a card well deserving of number 2. So before I give you my number 1, I want to say hit that like, subscribe if you're still watching, and I'm going to give you guys my runner-ups. So my runner-ups are Great Ape Son Goku Saiyan's Instinct. This card was gonna be in my list, my top 5 for sure, but I was like, oh man, what other card could I add in here? This card by far is one of the best cards. There's a reason this card costs over $100, or I don't know how much it costs now, but it's very, very expensive for its simple but powerful activate main, pay 2 energies, send this card from the drop to the warp to draw 2. That's all it does, but it's honestly very, very powerful. And that's why it hit the runner-up. Another runner-up happens to be Toppo Righteous Aid. I've seen Toppo steal so many games because of a well-placed Toppo. Toppo, you could stop that attack with the counter-attack ability, bring this 20k body on board, and then after that, you are able to discard 1 card from your hand, and if your opponent decides to attack, they have to drop 2 cards from their hand, stopping your opponent from doing any additional attack for the turn. And Toppo honestly was so close to making the list, but just did not make it. Then last but not least, we got Zeno. I wanted to add Zeno. I think this is one of the best unisons. It allows you to get an extra energy for the turn, and not only that, this guy's hard to remove because he racks up energies. I mean, he racks up markers really, really fast, and this guy's just able to board wipe the field, worst case scenario, by using its -5 activate main. The only downside to this card is that it's 9k, so it's relatively weak and it can't really do any damage, but nonetheless, an extra energy for the turn is bonkers. It's just crazy. So now, what is going to be C-Rod's number 1? Be sure to put it in the chat or put it in the comment section below. Write down there your 5, your top 5. I want to know, I really want to know your top 5 best cards ever. You know, strongest to weakest. So my number 1, Oboni After Image Slash. I'm giving it number 1 because it's nuts, it's broken, it's crazy, it's so darn good, and it's wins. Decks literally just play this card and they destroy the opponent. Why is this card so good? Why is this my number 1? Well, when you bring it out, not only does it have Deflect, meaning it's uncounterable, you're able to bring out 3 After Image tokens that are 15k bodies. You pretty much bring out 3 bodies that attack your opponent, and not only that, this card is unkillable if you have one of those tokens on field. Not only that, you could use its activate main, reveal one card from the top of your opponent's deck, and if it's a battle card, you switch an energy back to active mode, and you can continuously do that as long as Obuni after Image Slash remains on the field. That right there is nuts, but the nut part is the fact that he brings out a mini army of 15k battle cards that you could also combo as well. Gosh darn it. This is my number one for sure. Hit it up in the comment section below if you agree. If you disagree with my list, I would definitely love to know your list. Hit me a like for these top 5 or top 10 type of videos. Subscribe, and like we always say, y'all stay super. Double strike, hey. Me and 17, we both obscene with the hand destruction scene.
Y ahora se lista con el 17 y los otros 7. Yo miro y te pregunto tu mano, nosotros somos buenos para tirarlo.